Welcome back. This is GameBreakers. We are playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and this is our game, A Bard's Tale. I'm here with Allison, David, and Diamond, and we are right smack in the middle of the action. This is part 2 of this session, so we are going to hop right in. The team has engaged a camp of Yuan-ti in an attempt to rescue someone called the Water Mother. At the top of the initiative, something bad happens. I need Lovelace and CliqClaq to make me dexterity saves.
We both have advantage on those. Well, 26 and 20.
Excellent. So, what happens is this. Almost like you're watching an hourglass in reverse, the tips of the sand start to flow upward. And then pretty soon, so do the mummies and the snake men and everything. Gravity flips on its axis in the area, and everything just rushes up 100 feet. Lovelace manages to clamp onto the worm, who is well anchored into the ground. CliqClaq manages to clamp onto Lovelace, as you similarly are attempting not to fall from the ground. Ambrock, on the other hand, whoo-wee! And there's a mass of insanity above you. It's snakes and mummies and sand, all in a flurry, just flailing around. And then he moves over, grabs the hostage by her bindings, and begins to run out the back of the tent. He doesn't get very far because he's not very strong. He is attempting to flee. CliqClaq, Lovelace, do you have anything to say about this?
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him twice.
A good plan.
It's a good thing to say. Good thing to say.
Mm-hmm. That one's horrendous. 19 and 21.
Okay. I am also just gonna have you give me an athletics test, because you have a two-handed weapon, so you're having to like hold on with your legs.
20.
20. You wrap your ankles around the legs of the chair, so you have both hands free, and you take your shots. Both are hits.
Yay. Uh, 18 damage on the first one.
Okay.
Hey. And 13. And 21 on the second.
Okay. And you feel the weight that you're holding upward immediately settle back onto the ground, and then it rains sand and snakes and mummies as you break his concentration on the spell. Yeah, so many Wilhelms. So many Wilhelms.
An abundance of Wilhelms.
That is going to do a whole boatload of damage to everything that Yeah. That was the reverse gravity spell. Holy... Oh. Oh. You hear bones breaking and just like sickening crunches and thuds as things are falling from the sky. Oh man. Oh, Ambrock like hits off one side of the worm and just goes face first into the into the sand, and he looks he does the full scorpion whiptail. He's in bad shape. That's 53 damage to everybody who was in the sky.
And it's that like hollow thump because it's hitting sand. You know? So
There's
it's
a
like
pretty thorough
thump.
thud hit sand.
Oh man. Oh, that was delicious. That was some premium grade. Goddamn. Meanwhile, that snake is not thrilled about the direction his life is going. Struana,
Hi.
Think about your life choices.
You're trying to make a note to remember how exactly that looked while you're being set upon by the snake.
Wait, the snake or the abatus?
The abattis, who is also Yuan-ti. She's a pureblood, more human than snake, but still. The warriors, by the way, like it's been you haven't had great time to look at them, but they are much more snake than she is. They're a full snake-headed humanoid body.
Well, I am going to start by casting Arms of Hadar.
Okay.
Fairy magic going in there. Yeah, she needs to make a strength saving throw. So does Stan.
Strength saving throw. I got this, I think.
I figure you got this. I'm
What's-
proverbially rolling the dice on you rolling the dice well. And
What's it?
it's against my spell DC, right?
Yes.
Why do I not know how to do this?
Oh, I got another 1. But I got 15 total.
What?
Natural ones do auto-fail saves, I'm afraid.
That's point number 1. Point number 2, Struana, I would think your spell save would be higher than mine.
Yeah, mine's 15.
Yeah. You're mostly a caster.
It's actually a 14.
Incidentally a caster.
According to this, my spell save is actually a 14.
Never mind.
Different stats. So she does make it.
All right, so she takes half of 2d6 necrotic.
Okay.
I was hoping to slow her roll for a minute, but
And does the elk also take damage?
yes. But he can also strength save.
Yeah.
So she takes 4 necrotic. So does Stan. Stan, you take 8. Elk takes whatever Elk takes. Well, I was really not expecting you to roll a 1, Stan. And the other part of this is that you can't take any actions until your next turn.
You could decide not to concentrate on the spell.
Okay, that's easy. It's an instant. It has no concentration.
Oh. How long does it last?
1 act. It's just you can't
action.
do anything until your next turn.
Okay.
Because you're being restrained by tentacles from beyond.
Yeah, more or less. Tentacles from the bagpipe.
Why is that creepier than Tentacles from Beyond?
I'm not sure, but it did.
What is inside that bagpipe? All right. I have to check your old. All right. So, Struana, any other actions, bonus actions, movement?
Make another runaway. Another runaway?
Well, that would be an action if you didn't want to get an attack of opportunity.
Oh no. I do not want an attack of opportunity from her. I can't bonus anything right now, so
Okay.
I might as well suck it up a little.
All right.
Stan, I didn't expect you to fail a strength check. I was like, he can handle this. He's tough.
Well,
He got it.
and if it
He's gonna
hadn't
hurt a
been
little. I'll heal him later.
because even with a 1, he got over it. It's just an auto fail.
Yeah, that's
Well,
why I
it
was
looked like he was going to pass it. Didn't pass it.
A 5% chance. Sometimes the dice dictate the story a little bit. Next up is Ambrock, and he is face planted in the dirt. He takes half of his movement to kind of limp his way up. He puts his kind of pats himself down. You see some of the wounds close, and you hear some popping, like bones are going back into place. He had 4 hit points left, so that
would have been the perfect time to betray him.
Well, he did. It's not like he's at full health. Just throwing it out there. He takes the rest of his movement to wade into the fray and gives a command to the worm. In common to you, he says, "Hold on! She's going down!"
Dive, dive.
And then there's more that happens. So the abbess, once again, in just a flurry of motion, darts flying out from her elbows, knees, kicks, and strikes. Struana, I will need 2 Constitution saves.
Of course you do. Just have these
You
up.
take 3 and 3 piercing damage. Stan, she just cannot get a read on where you're not armored. Every time she goes in for a strike, there's metal there. She just doesn't understand why somebody would do that in the desert, and it's infuriating. She's rolling like crap as well.
I rolled an 11 and a 14.
Did you count bonuses from Stan?
Oh, no. That's a plus what?
+3.
So in that case, I got a 14 and 17 and a 7.
All right. You start to feel like numbness in your hands and feet, and you just look in Stan's eyes. You're like, no, 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 and you manage to shake it off. But you were getting dosed a lot with some kind of poison. You've got darts like.
Seriously, leather armor doesn't protect against this at all?
She's really it protects exactly enough to get you a 14 AC. So yes, but your elk will get an attack of opportunity. Stan, you will not.
The raw score for the elk is 12.
All right. So she goes and does like a 2-knee down slide over the sand. Just, she's got just enough scales on her knees and shins to glide right over and under your elk as it tries to stomp on her. Ends up on the other side, sweeps up, and that little piece of sunshine that she's been holding in her hand the whole time, and it turns into a sweeping, arcing blade of searing energy. And I need both of you and the elk to make me a dex save.
Yeah, about that. All right, I'll roll for the elk first. The raw score is 17.
Okay. That'll do it.
And then let me look up Shield Master, because there's something relevant for this. Oh, it's not only targeting me, is it?
No, it's an area effect.
Is it gonna, if I succeed, am I gonna be taking half damage?
Yes.
Okay, so if I'm subjected to an effect that allows me to make a dex save to take only half damage, I can use my You can use your reaction to take no damage if you succeed on the saving throw, interposing your shield between yourself and the source of the effect.
Nice. And because she refused to provoke an attack of opportunity for you, you still have a reaction.
But I have to make it.
She makes a mental note. Her eye slits narrow. Oh, I see what you do.
But I have to succeed.
That's important.
So plus it's my dex. So my saving throw. 17? I think I already used my. Oh, I have another D4 if that doesn't make it. Do it.
Oh.
I believe you
Right.
have before I declare whether it worked or not.
I
After you roll before.
No, I'm good. I can probably take it.
I just realized the thing I should have been using. Well, time like the present.
So if you made it, which had your elk, how did you do, Struana?
I'm sorry, I thought that you were talking to Stan, so I had spaced out with the...
That's all right. It's everybody. You all get the opportunity.
Also, I realized that I have a reaction spell that I haven't been using, so that's fun. 19? I mean,
19.
22.
You will only take 15 radiant. Anybody who got above 15 will only take 15 radiant damage as you manage to shield most of your face and eye holes. Stan takes nothing. His shield blocks all of it.
Can I react to that? Get a reaction to that?
Well, there's some reactions that you can. Is it something like what's the reaction? I believe.
I have a spell if somebody causes damage to me that is a reaction.
Yeah.
Can we do that? So she needs to make a dex saving throw.
22.
So she's going to take half damage, which I'll roll now.
Okay.
Which is, so she'll take 10 fire damage.
Okay. And this is what? Hellish Rebuke?
Hellish Rebuke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tieflings get to just do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as a bonus action, she grapples the elk. So an athletics check from the elk.
Does the elk need to roll?
Yes, that's an athletics check.
Nat 20.
So again, she tries to wrap up the legs and tip it, and it's just having none of it. Turns a little and just kind of gives her the eye.
This elk must just be so unimpressed by me this turn, or this combat. I'm rolling ones all the time, and it's just 17, 20.
Well,
Cruising on through.
you still never talk about the time it turfed it in front of the giant, so it doesn't. The next thing that happens is all of the snakes. So the snake warriors, all on a command, turn into snakes and dive down into the sand.
This is wild. Like, I want to be enjoying this more than I want to be fighting.
Right?
And that is what happens. They just whoosh and take off. Stan, what do you do?
I will attack with my hammer. Swinging from the top of the elk, and I'm going to use a bonus action as I'm lining up for that Thunderous Smite.
Okay.
28 to hit.
That is a hit. A palpable hit. That hits a lot.
Nice.
So I got 16 total damage on that first hit.
Okay. And some amount of that is sonic, I assume?
So that is thunder damage, and they actually need to make a strength save. DC 15.
She makes it.
Yeah. All right, and then I'm gonna take another swing with a nat 1. Oh, that's my third one this game.
Give me an athletics check.
Is that based on strength?
Yes.
15?
All right. A note. Your elk is also engaged in melee with her. You do have advantage on that roll.
Oh, for the elk to attack?
No, for you to attack. That natural one, you have advantage on that roll. So
Oh,
it's not a natural. You have another roll. Unless it comes up one again. I don't want to jinx you twice.
yeah. So I'll re-roll for that. I'll my
Yes.
advantage.
Yeah, roll your advantage.
28.
That, as we have established, is definitely a hit.
12 damage. And I already used my bonus.
She's beginning to get worn down, but she's still definitely okay. She's used to being in knockdown, drag out fights. The worm. Oh, unless you have movement actions, free actions?
No.
Worm is going to move over here. It heads under the battle, and you see it actually like pulling through snakes that are burrowing through, just like they're going off the side. And it emerges like so. Cannot catch a break on its attack rolls against the sorcerer. It goes down, and the sorcerer holds up the half elf, and the worm kind of pulls back. The mummies. The mummies are all going to chase after the sorcerer. A few of them are in range to make it and do something about it. The two of them that do immediately suffer massive burns, just explosive ignitions off of anything that touches the sorcerer. But they do make a mark. And he's in really bad shape. He's feared for his life. He's basically trying to use this hostage as a half-elven shield. And it's this creature's turn. He casts a spell. Ones don't do very well. And the water mother rolls a natural 20 on her save. So he pops. You see the air around him flicker with flame, and for a moment there's a bubble around him that is another spot. He's attempting to take the water mother with her, and she just looks at him and says, "No, I don't think so." And he's engulfed by the flame and taken away from this plane, probably somewhere he's fairly comfortable. But he nopes out. That was a lot of damage, and he was inches from death. CliqClaq and Lovelace.
Well, there goes my plan. Yeah, I shoot at the monk.
Okay.
How do I not remember my... 12. 23 and 24.
Both hits.
Just like we're just we're in the middle of this battle, and suddenly just two arrows come flying through the air.
Yep.
And she's engaged with allies, so I get sneak attack.
Yes. That is true.
I rolled terribly. 24 damage.
Okay. Altogether, what are they individually?
It was like 4 each plus 8 each. So like, yeah, 12 and 12.
All right. So she sees him coming, gets most of one out of the way, still grazes past her shoulder, and the other one she just snatches out of the air and throws it Struana. But not well. 10. And so you see it coming, but she couldn't get enough force on it. It makes contact. You get a little worried for a second, but it doesn't pierce the armor.
For one-time use arrow.
Monks are the worst. Was that any type of damage, by the way? Were you was
I
it a
lost
special
track of. Like, I think it's partly shocking, right? I think that's what we landed on.
Yes. That wouldn't. I'm gonna say that doesn't transfer to Struana. The extra damage from the bow, that's a special thing. It's not dependent on the arrow, so it's just piercing damage, not a weird type.
Right.
Okay.
I might be underdoing what we landed on for my bow in damage, but I'm not sure anymore because it's just a jumble of information.
Okay. We'll sit down soon and create a full-on item card for it because you've done enough upgrades and enough crazy stuff to that bow. But meanwhile, are there any other bonus actions, Lovelace actions?
Nope. We're gonna keep on our perch for now.
Okay. Cannot quite make it. But your big armored friend comes charging up the dune. He does a double move and is coming up. Oh wait, that lance has reach. Well, he gets up and makes contact with the lance. It doesn't look like it does as much damage as he hoped it was going to do. But it did a lot more damage than she hoped it was going to do.
Haha.
On her turn, she puts her hands up. She steps back. I yield. Yield. There's clearly no more point in fighting. What is it you want? She's speaking in perfect common now, by the way.
Release your slaves.
Do you see any here? I own none. My monastic vows allow me no property. As a culture, well, there's a war going on. I will use my influence with the council when it is reestablished after we flush the sand of this undead menace. I promise you that.
Insight check.
Okay.
$21.
Seems legit. She is sincerely offering to make that pitch and use what amount of influence she has to attempt to to change the society. She does seem a little fatalistic about it, as though she knows that she could not possibly succeed.
We both know promises of future actions aren't worth much.
Well, the future is uncertain. I simply don't have the power to do as you ask. You have your water mother, she says, looking at Ambrock. Am I free to go? Or would you like to take me prisoner? Take me back to one of your precious camps?
I'd like to point out I still have an arrow drawn on her.
Okay.
Waiting.
I'm waiting for Ambrock to say something at this point. Like, I'm just watching. I'm a little pissed. A little pissed. Roll for irritability.
Tie her up. Leave her in the desert. She can survive the night. She'll deal with the sandstorm in the morning. And if she can live through that, she'll have earned it. I have no room for a meddlesome prisoner. We must travel quickly.
What is tying someone up going to be as a skill?
She will let you.
Yeah, but
it would be
that didn't
Sleight
answer
of
my
hand.
question.
Sleight of hand.
dex. Yeah, sleight of hand, dex check at the worst.
So
I would let you make an intelligence check in place of a dex if you wanted to do intricate knot work.
Strong, nimble fingers is sleight of hand.
I feel like it's you or me that should do it. CliqClaq.
Okay. Easing off of the bowstring, I say to you over the earring. Even a local creature, leaving them tied up out here, exposed to the elements, sounds remarkably like torture.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this plan.
She kept trying to poison me, so I have no interest in helping her live right now.
Diamond, it's been established that you're our team leader, so I'm running things by you before I do anything. Are we killing her, or are we letting her go?
Oh. If you can make it possible for her to, like, very quietly, or, like, walking away and speaking quietly, so this is, like, so it appears that we're conferring. Like, if you can make it possible for her to escape with some stress and use my water, give her something to drink before we leave her.
Do you want to let her go?
I want her to be able to escape on her own after a little bit of time. Is that something that's possible for you to do?
Loosely tie the rope, but enough to that it looks convincing, I guess.
Yeah. We're not Houdiniing it. It's because you're going to have to actually work to get out of it, but it's possible.
Okay. And Ambrock is rounding up the honored ancestors. Is tending to some of their wounds, like doing some laying on hands on them, and he's not overseeing your work or anything.
Are we sure she's not just going to try to kill us later?
No.
No.
I'm pretty sure she's probably going to try to kill us later, but
we did try to just kill her and lie to her.
Stan has a problem with not having in combat, so I am clearly upset about this whole thing and just like, fine, Fine. Y'all want to be moral? That's fine. We'll do that. Let's see how that works.
I could take poison out of you, by the way. Do you have poison in you?
She made all her saves.
Barely. But part of that thanks to you. I like your morality when it helps me, and I don't like it when it doesn't help me.
I tie her up using the kind of knot that tightens when you struggle and loosens when you relax.
Okay.
But I don't tell her that.
The look in her eyes and a little bit of snaky smile, you can tell that she knows.
I take off the goggles, I look her in the eye, and say very sincerely and straightly, we could have killed you and we didn't, even though that would have been the smart choice on our part. Remember that. And I walk away.
Interesting, isn't it? I would definitely have killed you.
Shocking.
I look back to the bard, look back at her, and say, me too, but it's not my decision.
You're definitely my favorite of this little troop. I can't wait.
I didn't hear that last part.
I can't wait to see you again.
Yep,
Keep
we're just
talking. Yeah.
saving a boss for later. This isn't even her final form.
Uh-huh.
Mercy, mercy, mercy.
Thomas, just for the hell of it, I hunter's marker.
Okay.
It only lasts an hour, but whatever.
All right. So Ambrock pulls up around on the worm. It kind of gives you the cue to mount up. We ride all night.
Exciting.
What do? Are you mounting up to take Boronor's ally to Boronor's camp?
Yep. David?
One other thing. Before we leave the, what's-her-face, I give Lovelace the cue to memorize her smell.
Okay.
Carry on.
All right, you guys all mount up, and the new addition to the little worm bus that you guys have found yourself on is a half-elf. Showing signs of age, has lived a weathered life, ruddy skin, lots of smile wrinkles, and crow's feet at the eyes.
This is the Water Mother?
That is how Ambrock addresses her, yes.
Yes.
He makes no introduction, and does not attempt to introduce you.
Does she look ill or wounded?
She looks like she hasn't eaten a lot. Like she looks weak, but no actual wounds. Just fatigued, exhausted.
We're riding the worm. How far am I away from her?
Well, I mean, it really, like, it right now is riding above the sand for maximum restfulness. It's not in stealth or combat mode, so it really is like a 20-foot, 350-foot long platform. You could be as close as you want.
The captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt light?
Yeah, it's a nice, smooth ride.
Gotcha. I walk over and hand her some food.
She looks up at you. Says something to Ambrock. He nods.
I smile in that robot kind of way and then walk away.
She says something in a language you don't understand.
I smile at her because that's what people do to each other, and then I walk away.
Okay. She converses a little with Ambrock and nibbles a little at the food. What is it? Is this like rations out of?
It's well, it would probably be a bag of both meat and fruit jerky.
Okay. She looks very confused at it. She's like,
It's animal meat and fruits and vegetables that have all been jerkied.
yep. She sets the meat aside. She gives it a taste and no, not to her palate thing. She goes for limited amounts of the fruit. Just very like picks at it a little. Just eating slowly. Seems to be considering the flavor.
I don't flavor it.
I know, but she's not used to fruit.
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast.
She's looking
I'm
around,
gonna
there's
cast
not a lot of
comprehend
orchard.
languages because I have the spell slots, and that seems to be an ongoing good idea here.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I'm gonna cast comprehend languages. Once I hear her speaking to CliqClaq, I'll be like, oh right, I need to understand what's happening.
She it's a basic thank you. After about a half hour, 45 minutes after sunset, the temperature drops hard, really hard, like near freezing within the course of 20 minutes. Just like all of the heat just sucks up off the ground, and it's cold. Like it is hardcore cold, and CliqClaq, you're all wet. Got your rain thing. I assumed that was still going. Did you? Unless you tucked it away for the night.
It only works if it's running along the ground.
Well, yeah, only in the sand. The worm one.
It's powered by a paddle that I drag behind me.
Right.
So only when it's moving.
Okay.
If we're on the back of the worm, I didn't have it up.
Okay.
I'm going to ask the what is the driver's name?
Ambrock.
Ambrock?
Yes.
I'm gonna ask Ambrock how he how do you keep warm?
There's a pickup line.
I suffer through
Can
the
I
cold.
say it slightly less dorky than that?
I suffer through the cold.
Hold on, let me just check something about bonfires.
I count my blessings that the sun's eye is not upon me, and I enjoy the cold while I have it.
Okay, for those of us who are far more susceptible to the cold, do you have any recommendations?
Don't come to the desert. Wrap yourselves in cloth, leathers, skins. If you'd like to ride inside the worm's mouth, I'm sure it's purely temperate.
Wait a minute.
At which point the water mother breaks in and slaps his knee, and she's like, "Be kind." You seem to understand our tongue, foreigner.
For a minute.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
I am the Water Mother, the speaker of light. I thank you for aiding Ambrock and his band. I am curious as to why you have chosen a side in a war that's not yours.
That's fair.
What's the word for there's a word for convenience. Convenient. I say shivering as I turn to CliqClaq. Hey, CliqClaq. So I can make us a fire, but we got to do it in a way where it's not going to burn the worm. Do you have any suggestions?
Yes. Give me a minute.
Thinking stand shield, and then it's like, that doesn't even work.
You just erect a mobile workshop on top of the crab, just then start tinkering. Is that what happens?
We could put it on the top of his shield with kindling. It would burn the kindling. It wouldn't get hot enough to warp the shield because it's a shield.
It doesn't need fuel.
Right. But my point is that without having to set actually his shield on fire, we could still use his shield as a buffer. So we can set up the shield, put something on the shield to hold the flame, and then everything's good.
Stan? Sound better than freezing to you?
Yeah.
But the Water Mother takes out a small torch. I had planned to use this.
What?
I had planned to use this, she says. It's just a little torch. It's like,
Well, then you might as well save it, as mine takes no fuel.
excellent. I
Work
appreciate
on
that.
setting up a bonfire inside of a shield. I think it's going to be like a cast a create bonfire and then a control flame, so that
Okay.
it's not a giant thing, but just like a heat producing but small fire looking thing in stand shield.
He's making a blowtorch.
How long will it last?
It'll last. We had done this with the like extra heating would last an hour. Because it's going to be creating it and then another cantrip to make it keep going.
Okay. Ah, right. It's a cantrip, so you can just keep popping it off. Okay.
Yeah.
So you managed to make a campfire on the back of a giant purple worm.
If you want to be obvious about it.
The Water Mother pulls out some give me a nature check. She pulls out a packet and also begins pecking at a little bit of food there.
I got a
So-
6.
She'll offer some to each of you.
I look at it and go, this is probably insects. And I go ahead and hand around the water bottle while I'm eating the thing that is probably insects.
It is definitely insects. It's not a hard DC on that.
Insects.
At work the other day, I had a coworker, completely off topic but on topic, come up to me and go, "Hey, do you want some of this chocolate bar?" And I had this giggly face on, and I'm like, "What's it made with?" Like, "Oh, try it first." I did, and I'm like, "This is mealy. It's made with bugs, isn't it?" She's like, "Yes, it's crickets. You're not freaking out. Why aren't you freaking out?" Cool. I've tried. I now have cricket bars in my freezer.
That's pretty cool.
They're not terrible.
Yep, this is
for
definitely
protein.
bugs. It is good protein.
The protein
So,
versus thorax.
as she passes some around again, she looks at you, Struana, and says, "So you didn't answer? I'm still curious."
Oh, I'd answered her. I said convenience.
An answer that is not exactly an answer, is it? Come now. How did you come to be here?
Did you know druids can, like, move people through trees? The trip.
She seems a little confused at the word druid. An interesting technique. Why did you come, though? I'm sure you've noticed this place is not particularly welcome to those who don't know its way.
Something, something, not the first, won't be the last. Something, something. Deception isn't working. I'm like,
That's the name of your book.
You know when you perform really poorly and then you're just like, oh my god, can I really do this? Like, Struana's having a whole series of like second guessing, like, even be a bard.
And the worst part is you keep running up against wise characters, high wisdom score characters that have things like insight trained, and it's makes it hard to lie.
Yeah.
Not everybody, but most of the time when you end up trying to lie to somebody, I find that it's usually the characters that are the least susceptible to it.
I have the like just look her in the eye and say, I'm going to keep avoiding the question. Because I'm tired. Because I haven't gotten to talk to my group band. What is the word? Adventuring party? Whatever. Because this has been a heck of a day, and I would like to process all of that before even having that conversation.
I understand. But I need you to know what's at stake. I cannot betray certain information to someone I don't trust. We are heading somewhere sensitive. It won't be long before we'll have to decide whether we're going to take you or leave you somewhere safe in the desert with some supplies and our deep thanks. I hope you understand. But take your time. Speak with your compatriots. We've all got rest. It has been quite a day for all of us. If there's anything I can do, I do have some healing spells at my disposal.
Does our time period, whatever question gets thee, does the time period look like a short rest time period?
It will be a few hours at least before we'll have to decide. Until then, stay warm, enjoy the stars. The desert can be beautiful at night. I take it this is your first night in the desert.
It is, in fact. And I'm gonna lean back and look up.
So you have not experienced morning in the desert?
No.
Well, then I will warn you. Sunrise is a violent time here in the desert. As the sun's eye makes contact with the sand. A storm rises up, sweeps from west to east each morning. You'll need to be prepared for it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You've done me a great service today, and a service to the tribes. You have my sincere thanks. And she goes back up and sits behind the crest of the worm and just kind of nestles in and rests some more. So you guys do now have the option for a short rest. She is a healer if you need any of that. I know that some people took some dings and scrapes and bruises and lots of pokes. Your hunter's mark, CliqClaq. For the hour in which you're able to keep it, she doesn't move at all. She honors the terms of her surrender. And with that, let's take a quick break then, and we'll come back with a small scene afterward in the next part. But this will be the end of this segment of the episode. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, hit like. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. And if you want to see it get better, so do we. That's why we set up a Patreon. Links are in the doobly-doo below, and until then, have a good game.